Good evening, mamas, and welcome back to Midlight, your light in the middle of the night. Tonight, I want to piggyback off of some things that we talked about yesterday when we talked about kingdom work. And for those of you who didn't join us last night, I will just summarize that kingdom work is work that is done for God. Like when we change babies' diapers or nurse or feed them with a bottle for the umpteenth time. The things that may go unknown by the world do not go unknown by God, because He designed us for this work. And that is why we say that motherhood is kingdom work. So I want to share a verse with you, and it's from James chapter 1 and verse 17, and it says, "Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and comes down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow of turning." So breaking that down, I picture our babies and our little ones and how they are a good gift and a perfect gift from above. God has a plan for that baby, and God has a plan for you. And I wanted to expand a little more when it says every good and every perfect gift is from above and comes down from the Father of lights. That is referring to God being the God who hung the stars in the sky. And when it says, "with whom there is no variation or shadow of turning," that simply means that He doesn't change and He is always good. So remember, mamas, that you and your baby are both perfect gifts from above. I know you probably feel that way as you hold and tend your little one, but I wanted to remind you tonight that you are holding a very good gift. You are tending to a perfect gift from above, from the very God who hung the stars in the sky. And I want to talk a little bit more about another verse that goes hand in hand with what we're talking about tonight. And it's from 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 11. And that says that you also aspire to lead a quiet life, mind your own business, and to work with your own hands as we commanded you. And that was written by Paul in 1 Thessalonians. And I think that so many times we think that our lives have to be so fancy. And motherhood sometimes doesn't feel fancy. But motherhood is so purposeful. And right here in the Bible, it tells us to lead a quiet life and to mind our own business and to work with our own hands. Do we not do that as mothers? We work with our hands, don't we? And our motherhood often feels quiet. Now I know babies cry and toddlers scream and teenagers demand their own way. But inside of our hearts, we have a quiet spirit as we tend to these things, and we give our requests to God. In fact, in the Bible, in Philippians chapter 4, in verse 6, it says, "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God." And then verse 7 is great. It says, "And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds through Christ Jesus." So this is how we maintain peace that goes beyond all understanding. It's that we present our requests to God and we come before Him with thanksgiving. And I love that it ends with a guarding of your hearts and your minds through Christ Jesus. Do we not need that as mothers? Do we not need our hearts and our minds guarded? We do. And there's a lot pulling on us. There's things pulling in every direction. But yet we can stay calm. We can stay peaceful. We can stay joyful if we keep our priorities clear and our eyes on God, and remember that the things that we are doing right now have eternal impact, and they are creating a legacy every day of what we want to leave behind in our children. What a weighty and beautiful experience that we get to, day by day, moment by moment, feeding by feeding, tending by tending, leave a legacy for our children. when we work it backwards and we think, how do I want my baby to remember me as their mama? My own personal feeling about my legacy that I want to leave for my babies, my children, is a mom who loved well, is a mom who had joy and faith and excitement for life, fun, willing to try new things with their children. And I think about, how will I accomplish this? On my own, I can't. But with God, I can. And God designed me with my personality. And He designed you with yours. And then He assigned us these perfect gifts from above that we get to tend to, that came down from the very God who created the stars and hung them in the sky. And then I think, I don't have to try to be anything other than what I am as a mother. I don't have to try to be different. I can just be who I am. And I know it sounds a little bit cliche to say, show up as the best version of myself. But that is what I think we're supposed to do. I think that God created us with dynamic personalities and some with quiet ones. And He knew exactly when He created every fiber of our being who we were meant to be for the children we would bring behind us. So I want to encourage you to embrace the way that God made you. Do you love to sing? Do you love to read? Do you love to do wild and crazy things? Do you love friendship? Do you love quiet, alone moments? Maybe you love both. Embrace all the ways that God created you and be willing to share them with your children. Thank you for letting me join you tonight on Midlight. I pray for you, Mama, that your evening goes well, and I want to pray the blessing over you. May the Lord bless you and keep you, make His face to shine upon you, be gracious unto you, and give you peace. Thank you for being here tonight at Midlight. I look forward to talking with you again soon. Take care, Mama.